Hi, Mr. On right now, and citizens living in Daegu City in South Korea. And if you follow the news internationally, you know that Daegu is Korea, what Wuhan is to China-19, the coronavirus disease is concerned. And so we've got a Ghanaian living in Daegu who's going to tell us exactly what is going on. So, good afternoon to you, because I know it's almost 4 o'clock in Daegu. Just tell us your full name and how long you've been living in Daegu.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Kafui Dey. Thanks for the opportunity to appear on your social media handle. I've lived in Daegu for the past 4 years. Yeah, and I work with the Semion Trading Plaza. We're into foreign export. We export used cars to Ghana and other neighboring countries. Yeah.
Fantastic. And your full name is?
The full name is Richard Zinleri. I'm from the Upper West region of Ghana, Laura. Richard
Oh,
Zinleri. Yes, please.
I'll call you,
Yeah.
I'll call you Richard, and you can call me Kafui. All right.
Yes, sir. Okay, Mr. Kafui. That's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Richard, tell me exactly what the situation is with COVID-19 in Daegu as we speak today.
I shall speak with you now. Daegu has been declared, the most affected area in South Korea. Just today, Friday, as at 10 a.m. Korean time, there have been 256 new cases recorded only today in the morning, Friday, here in South Korea. So the total number nationwide of South Korea is 2022 as we speak right now, 2022. And as you already know, everybody was thinking this is just limited to the Chinese Wuhan people. But it so happens that now South Korea is the second largest affected country in the world. And Daegu, where I stay, and there are so many other Ghanaians staying here in Daegu, everybody is scared to death because you might not know how and when you can also contract this disease. It's so scary. It's so scary. So right from our homes to the offices, everybody puts on a nose cover or a nose mask. You put on a glove. You disinfect yourself in hourly or 30 minutes basis. It's just so scary, Mr. Kafui Day.
So you're in your office right now and you're wearing a mask in the office?
That's right. I'm in the office right now and I'm wearing a mask. And every staff in the office is going through the same situation. If, with the permission of my vice president, you can see right over there, he's also putting on the mask. And every other person in the office is doing the same. I'm not the only one. This is a precautionary measure. We were not supposed to meet or converge or be together. But once we are together in the office, we have to put on the nose mask. As I speak with you now, so many other stores, so many restaurants and workplaces, they have closed down and everybody's home. Schools have been closed down and people are home for now, waiting for the next directive from the government so we know how to go about our daily lives. But once we are working in my company, we have to put on the mask even in the office. Yeah.
How has the government um, sent out information regarding how you to protect yourselves? How has that information been like? How has the spread of the information from the government been like?
First of all, the Korean government has a very effective networking system. So every day we receive daily updates from the Information Services Department of the nation. You get to know within your jurisdiction where you are staying the number of people who have been infected, and they keep reminding you every day, keep abiding by the precautionary measure like wash your hands properly, observe the basic hygienic procedures every day, put on your nose mask, don't go out, stay home. It has been a constant reminder. In a day, you could receive about 6 messages. And when there are new cases announced, you get a text message on your phone. One good thing the government has also put in place is they have this app. It's an application that you could download on Google Play Store. And when you download that application, the application would give you an overview of your location where you are. If somebody is affected within your location, the app would give a red spotlight and indicating that you should be aware of where you walk, where you pass, and where you go. So you would know the places that are affected around you through the app. You could get to know, and then you can navigate yourself or change paths wherever you're going. So these are the measures the government has put in place, and there are hundreds and thousands of free nose masks provided by the city councils where we live. So if you are short of it as a Ghanaian or African or whoever you are, you could walk in there and go for those materials to better arm yourself. But so far, no Ghanaian has been infected. So far, no Ghanaian has been infected. And the Ghana embassy here in South Korea has issued a circular among all Ghanaians, and that enumerates the number of things you should do every day, like observing basic hygienic conditions. If you have any symptoms or problems, don't panic. Call the nearest hospital. The embassy has done that. Yeah, fantastically. Yeah, they've really done that for us, which is also good. Yeah.
Does the embassy, how many Ghanaians live in Daegu? Do you have any idea?
In Daegu, the Ghanaian population will be somewhere roughly 300 plus. But nationwide, Ghanaians are closer to about 2,000 in population here in South Korea nationwide. But Daegu alone, we could be over 300. This is off the record figure. I'm not too sure. It could be even more, but it's just an estimate figure I'm giving you. Yeah.
Are you aware of any Africans who may have contracted COVID-19, the coronavirus disease?
Yeah, from the news we have received so far, no African has been declared infected and no Ghanaian has been declared infected yet. But we are not being complacent. We're still observing and taking the precautionary measures here because you might not know when an African can get it, but not yet.
What is the mood in the office, at home, on the streets? How do people feel? What's the sense that you get of the emotional makeup of people?
On the streets, it's really empty compared to the previous days prior to this corona outbreak. The streets are virtually empty. You could see a few people moving around. And when you get to your office, everybody is observing the precautionary measure. And as soon as you cough or you over cough, even if you're not careful, somebody might even suspect that, hey, come on, have you been infected? That kind of thing. And we used to shake hands a lot. Yeah. But these days, you cannot shake hands with your boss or your company staff because the more you shake hands, it's easy to transmit to the next person. You could infect somebody. So it's a bit a sensitive situation now, and it's quite moody everywhere. Everybody, we don't even eat together anymore. We used to have lunch together in the office, but due to this, we've all been advised to have our separate lunches, eat alone. You could bring a lunch box to the office or eat in your homes before you come to the workplace. It's serious, my brother. It's serious. Some are even contemplating on coming back to Ghana, but that will not be the solution actually. Yeah.
Mm. Do you get the sense that people are scared? People are panicking?
Of course, people, especially we in Daegu, the rate at which the thing is pacing, is causing fear and panic. You will understand. So, I mean, it's like that here in Daegu everywhere. People are quite moody and sensitive. It's hard even when you go to the marketplace to buy something. People are queuing in the supermarkets because who knows if there's an outbreak and the supermarket closed down, you may be starving home. So when you go to the normal basic facilities where we usually go and they do stuff in the banking halls and all that, there's a long queue because everybody is trying to put themselves together before it hits really harder.
Mm.
Yeah.
Two quick
And
questions.
the funny side of
Yeah.
this story is that here in Daegu, we started with a church called Shinchon. Yeah, a church called Shinchon. So it started from that church when a church member contracted the symptoms, but out of ignorance, they never reported or visited the nearest hospital for treatment. So they kept on going with their church gathering meetings where there are thousands of them. So through the church, then the thing began to spread widely here in Daegu because the church
Mm.
is within the Daegu Gyeongsang-Bukdo province. Yeah,
Okay. Two quick questions
yeah.
before I let you. Are you wearing the
So
gloves in the office? Oh?
for gloves, I'm not wearing the gloves. I have an empty hand. I only put on the nose mask But the good thing here is that I have a disinfectant and I have a alcohol hand sanitizer. So while I type on the keyboard, after every 30 minutes, I put a bit of the alcohol in my palm and rub it all over. And when I go to the washroom, I make sure I use the soap and warm water. You shouldn't use cold water, warm water. About 30 minutes, no, no, 30 seconds or 1 minute, you wash thoroughly to be sure before you. So in and out, once you even hold the doorknob, you don't know if somebody got infected and held the doorknob. So
Exactly.
yeah.
So you have your sanitizer on your desk right now?
Yes, yes, I have it on the desk right now. If you could hold on, I can show you just a few minutes.
Mm-hmm. And then while you're getting it, you said that there's an app that has been developed. Was this app developed before the COVID-19 struck or right after you guys had the
Well,
first case?
well, this app was developed in just after the outbreak. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, it
Okay.
was just developed. The app was just developed.
That
So
was quite quick.
this yeah,
Oh, that's your
this what did. Yeah, this
okay.
the hand sanitizer that I'm using. And then this is the disinfectant that the office has provided.
Great.
Your jacket, your clothes, you could disinfect it,
Mm-hmm.
with this also. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Now, this
that's
the
the
app that
situation.
was the app developed by the government or was it a private initiative?
It's a government app. Yeah,
It's a
it's a
government.
government app. Yeah.
Great. And you said you're getting regular information on your phone. How about radio,
Every
television?
day.
Okay.
TV everywhere, every day. But we as foreigners, the major language here in South Korea is the Korean language. So
Yeah,
if you're a foreigner and you cannot really understand the language properly, communication barrier becomes a huge challenge because you need to know what's going on and what to do
exactly.
next. So we have this TV station called Arirang TV. They speak English, so you could monitor whatever is going on through the Arirang TV station. And when you get the government messages, it's in the current language, so you could use a translation app to translate and see what's they're talking about. Yeah, but this app that tells you if your area is infected or not and the closest infection area. The app is a new developed app just recently. Yeah, that the government did. There's been swift action. The current president has even visited Daegu province,
Mhm.
to kind of sympathize with the people and to see the situation at first hand. Yeah,
Right. I'm curious about that app. I'm sure I can check it out
yeah, I
on
can
in the
forward a copy to you. Yeah, yeah,
future.
yeah. Right after this talk. One more time.
Okay. What's the app called?
The app, it's in the current language. Yeah, you wouldn't know, so I'll just forward it to you.
Yes. Now, before I let you go, Africa has recorded Sub-Saharan Africa has recorded its first case of
Yeah,
COVID-19 in
we hit
Nigeria.
Nigeria, like in Nigeria. Yeah,
It's an Italian citizen who came into the country and then they found that
that's right.
what
That's right.
advice would you give?
Mr. Kafui,
Yeah.
the rate at which is even spreading to parts of Africa has also compelled most countries to close their borders with South Korea. I just speak with you now. So many other countries within Europe and some parts of Asia, like Bosnia, Serbia, Iceland, Croatia, they've even Russia, Israel, they've all closed down their borders with South Korea, and persons traveling from South Korea to those countries have been restricted, and the flights have been brought back again. So in the case of Nigeria and our country, Ghana, I don't know what measures were put in place back home, but I think the authorities would know what is right. And they will know the steps. This shouldn't really bother much about diplomacy, where people would think that when you take such actions diplomatically, you could have some frictions. But this is a serious pandemic. It's an outbreak, so we need to take the bull by the horn and take such bold steps to kind of secure the borders before it spreads. Because our situation in Ghana, hospitals and other health facilities is not even up to the level of what's here in Asia. So you could still imagine if we have the infection in Ghana, it would really be a huge problem. Yeah.
Finally, what advice would you give to the authorities and the general population in Ghana and for anybody else in Africa who is watching this? What kind of advice would you give as somebody who is living with what is happening in South Korea right now?
Yes, what I would say is that they should have very effective disinfectants in huge quantities at the ports of entries and the airport areas, so that every other foreign person coming into the country, like Ghana, would be well scrutinized. They shouldn't also think much about only infected countries, because the case of Nigeria is a good testament that, a country you never suspected that there may be a carrier from that country, because as the person travels, you might not know who he or she came into contact with before getting to Ghana. So everybody must be properly scrutinized. It shouldn't also just be about the disinfectants and the sanitizers, but it should also be about they have a scanner that they point to your forehead and your eyes to check your temperatures and fever symptoms. All those things must be on display. Ambulances and the health officers should be displayed at every port of entry. And when the person enters, the government of Ghana should keep monitoring the person, even though you might be declared okay and you pass through the airport of Ghana. After a week or two, the Ghanaian government should make preparations to do a follow-up visit to that person in Ghana just to see if they are still okay. Because the virus may be negative at the point of entry, but it takes time. Who knows? It may be hiding in you. So every foreigner that enters should be followed up and checked more and more frequently to be very sure that we are safe. Yeah.
Richard Zinleri, it's been a real pleasure. Thank you very much for talking to me. Stay safe and God bless.
It's my pleasure to talking to you, Mr. Kafui Dey, and Ghanaians should keep praying for us here in South Korea, and we hope to overcome it very soon. Thank you so much, Mr. Kafui. Yeah.
God bless. Take care.
All right. Okay. Thank you.